Spider's Den is probably the hardest dungeon as a new player. Just getting in there and climbing the stages just to get some accessories and guaranteeing yourself some decent loot really takes time. And just look at these timers, even being able to just simply clear the thing, it's taking me ages, right? So today we're going to be upgrading a new champion that I recently got off of a summoners event, and that is going to be Achak, right? Achak is an epic champion which is going to be quite crazy in order to both apply HP burns as well as control the spiderlings. He comes around with a lot of good stuff. Today we're going to be going through the entire upgrading process and test him out on the actual dungeon so we see how good he is. Let's go. So Achak, he is a support from the Demon Spawn faction, and as I already mentioned, he's quite decent at the Spider's Den. In fact, in Hell Hades, he does have a 5, right, in the Spider's Den in particular. He isn't really useful much elsewhere, but what we are really going for here is for somebody that's really gonna be helping out my Spider's Den team, right? This is where I'm really struggling. I do not have any HP burners, and I'm really having a hard time controlling those spiderlings, right? I do already have an Armiger build, and I do already have a miscreated monster, which I could also kind of use for the Spider's Den in particular, because he is really damn good for controlling the spiderlings, and I'm really considering actually building him out as well. But today I'm going to be doing that with Achak, right? Achak is probably going to be just a little bit better. Now, it's going to be coming with the following, so let's check out their skills here. If you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. The A1 is going to be a single target attack with a chance of decreasing the duration of a random buff. Not the greatest. That is only going to be happening also if the target is under an HP burn debuff. Now, it's also going to be coming with 30% chance of decreasing the target's star meter by 15% if they are under a freeze debuff. These chances are really low and can only be scaled up to a 50% chance, and they do require those 2 debuffs to be applied, but we'll see how we do that in a moment, right? The A2 is a block debuffs, which is going to be coming quite handy for many things here, in particular in the Spider, as well as in the Ice Golem, but not really that much. And it's also going to be applying a strengthening buff on all allies for 2 turns, right? The block debuffs only last for a single turn, although of course you can extend that with other stuff, but the strengthening buff is going to be quite handy, although not the greatest. But anyways, we do got some defensive stuff over here on the A2, and it's going to be applying to all allies on a 4-turn cooldown. Now, the good thing about this guy is really, and I'm assuming it's a guy, I don't know what this really is, it's a demon, so whatever, it is in the A3, right? The A3 is going to be coming with a 90% chance after upgrading the whole skill of applying a freeze debuff to all enemies for 1 turn whenever their attack is higher than their defense, and then it's going to be also coming with a 90% chance of placing an HP burn whenever they have defense which is equal or higher to their attack, right? So it's only going to be one or the other, depending if you are manipulating these stats on the enemies, right? So if you got like a decreased defense or decreased attack, stuff like that, if you are able to really manipulate this stuff, you will probably be able to guarantee whether you want a freeze on your enemies here or if you want an HP burn, right? So you can have a little bit of flexibility here with what this champion is going to be doing in the fight. So you want it to be the HP burner of the fight, or do you want it to be the control guy of the fight for Spider's Den, right? You kind of need both roles here to make things really work. Now, this is going to be on a 3-turn cooldown, and as I mentioned, these chances of applying these debuffs can go up quite a little bit, right? So it's a kind of like a big cooldown for this kind of skill, but of course you're not really going to be able to always have these things like happening all the time unless you're like running with, I don't really know, yeah, like a WRECKS or something like that. You're not really going to be able to get that many HP burns out as easily anyways, depending on, you might be running with a Mordecai, which I would have loved to get for this dungeon in particular, but we do not have those resources. I don't have a WRECKS and I don't have a Mordecai, right? And I'm not going to be wailing it out that much. Anyways, so this is what we got. We're going to be trying to make it work. I'm hoping to be able to go for the HP burn over here, which means that I need to have the defense be equal or higher than their attack, meaning that if I do reduce their attack, which I do with my Necmo, which I recently got as well, I'm able to do that with, I think it is his his A1, which is an AoE decreased attack, which is not 100% chance, but I'm at least able to apply this AoE to all the spiderlings, meaning that I am very likely to be able to actually get the HP burn effect on this thing, right? So if I go for Miscreated Monster for the crowd control, I could also go for here Husk, and then I am going to be using this guy, Achak, for my HP burns, right? Because I don't really have any other options. So I'm really going to be trying to make this work. It's a 90% chance I'm going to have to fully book him up. I don't really have any books right now because I'm still using those on my Ruella, but anyways, we'll get to that eventually. Epic books come quite easily anyways. And finally, the passive is the following: heals all allies by 5% max HP every time an enemy under HP burn gets a turn, right? So literally every time the spiderlings do get a turn, they're gonna be triggering a heal on everybody, meaning that I could potentially remove my Oella from the team, which I don't know if I would really do. Right now, it's kind of like I'm only able to run with her. I really depend on her for all that healing and buff extension and the resistance and the turn meter fill and stuff like that, as well as the passive continuous heals. I don't know, I really want to be making it work without her, so I think that maybe with this healing I'll be able to do so, just quite, and maybe I'll put a deacon in there as well. Anyways, this guy or whatever is also going to be filling the turn meter of all allies by 10% if I did get the freeze debuffs going on, right? Whenever somebody with the freeze debuffs gets a turn, I do get the turn meter of all allies going on, which in theory and really sounds a lot better than the HP burns, right? So using her or him again, I don't know, it's kind of weird, as an HP burner is kind of a lot weaker than using this person or whatever as a freeze character, right? So if I'm really going to be using the freeze part of her kit, I am going to have so much better of a usage for this character because of the turn meter field, right? So I could potentially take the Deacon Armstrong away if I wanted to do that, and then I could go for a lot of control with those freezes. But anyways, we're going to be trying to make it work with the HP burn. This champion also comes with the defense aura, which I don't really know if I would use in any scenario, but anyways, that is kind of what it is about. Now, it's a support champion that is going to be applying a lot of debuffs, right? So what's going to happen with the gear? We are really going to be looking for something like speed, perception. We want to be getting a lot of speed on this character, accuracy, and then it's going to be about surviving, right? So you will be wanting some HP percentage and defense percentage. The gearing on this kind of characters is extremely simple, and I could potentially switch away the gear from somebody else. I don't know, potentially just get it from my Morrigan, who has quite a decent amount of speed and accuracy, and I don't really have that many uses for her, so I'll probably just go ahead and do that. Anyway, so we got the preset going on here for my gear, so I'm going to be going to the preset manager right here and just try on the entire set that I just made up from my Morrigan. There we go. So we got all the perception gear going on, we got the accuracy all the way up there scaled up, we got the speed, which we still have to increase by doing things like just leveling up the character, and it's still like level 40, not even fully started up, and we do need to do the masteries, right? So that's all going to be scaling up quite well. We also got a ring going on here, which we got recently from the protection set, so we don't really get anything too crazy out of it. I just had it and don't have anything else for the faction over here, the demon spawn, so that is just how bad it is. I don't really have any other accessories. We're gonna have to do with what we have, and that is especially why I want to be farming the spiders, because I'm running so low on accessories. I have so many champions over here without full accessories simply because I just do not have enough of them, right? I cannot put like the entire thing on them, and I need to be farming this so damn quickly, right? So let's go now and upgrade the Achak. And in order to do so, I'm going to be buying some chickens. I just want to be speedrunning through it a little bit. I am lacking a few ranked 4 chickens, so we're going to be taking the chance to do this through Aptoide, right? So Aptoide is going to be allowing you to get bonuses whenever you buy things in Raid Shadow Legends when you download the game through it. So today we're going to be doing that, buying a pack right here, and we're going to be getting a bonus which can go from extra 10% of the amount of money you're spending all the way up to extra 35%, right? As you can see right there, I got a bunch of euros as a bonus. Now, the idea about this whole thing is that once you do have enough of the bonus, you're going to go ahead and be able to use that bonus instead of your actual money to buy the things for you, right? It's really that simple. You're going to be able to save up money in the long run as you are doing purchases that you would otherwise be doing anyways, and then using those bonuses you are accumulated in the Aptoide wallet to do more purchases for you, right? You're going to be able to find a link down there in the description explaining how to set the whole thing up on your PC, on an Android emulator like BlueStacks, or also on your Android phone. It's not going to work on iOS, unfortunately, and you will also be able to find a code, which is going to be somewhere here up in the screen, which you will be able to use to get even more of a bonus, right? It's going to be increasing that bonus by a flat 5% from the get-go as you go and log into your Raid Shadow Legends account through Aptoide, and just keep on playing and doing as you normally would be doing anyways. Let's head on to the tavern. I don't really have too much silver, so I'll probably have to do a little bit of farming right there. But we're going to be going first and foremost into the upgrade panel, right? So we do have the chickens ready. We just bought them for that. So that's it. It's now 5 stars. So I do need to be doing a little bit of ascending. And I do think I have some potions here that I could mix. But that's going to be extremely expensive as well. So we might as well use some of that energy to farm some of that. We also are running a little bit low here on some of our potions here for the Force Affinity. But we do have as well some that we can fuse up. And finally, we're going to need to level it up. I think I'm just going to be going ahead and doing all of that, and I'll catch you out later. So after a lot of upgrading, here's what we ended up with. We got him all the way up to 32,000 power. He is now level 60 with all stars ascended. We got the gear on. As you can see, we have quite a decent amount of accuracy as well as speed. I would like the speed to be a little higher as well as the attack. Now, this champion is going to be doing quite some AoE damage as well, right? So scaling up a little bit of that attack is not a bad idea, as his attacks are going to be scaling off of that. Nevertheless, we have a decent amount of defense, so he's going to be quite well off, as well as a lot of resistance, right? Now, we did have we did put a relic on him, which is going to be increasing the turn meter when applying freezes in particular, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of that. Now, this can only occur once per turn, otherwise we would potentially gain the entire turn meter bar, especially in the spider, but that's just a little bit of an increase. We do get a little bit of accuracy from this. For the level of content we're going to be doing, the accuracy is more than fine. That's why I would love to get a little bit more speed in there. I think we do have some speed boots over here, but we do need to be scaling that up a little bit more with the other two accessories that I don't even have right now. I cannot put them on them because, well, I do need some farming of the spider. Anyways, we did also go for some masteries, right? This is what we ended up with. We got a build over here which is going to be giving us a little bit of extra accuracy here and there. We do also have extending the duration of the buffs that we are applying. We do also get more stats from our gear, as well as some turn meter manipulation over there, some turn meter over there once more, and then we do also have some more of that stuff, like increase the turn meter whenever a debuff that we are applying is removed or expired, and whenever a buff that we are applying is removed or expired. Pretty aggressive set as well. We do have the War Master over here running, which is going to be allowing us to do quite some more AoE damage onto those spiderlings. And then we just have a very simple tree here with a little bit of max HP damage, more damage to low enemy champions, and their crit damage and more crit rate, right? So we're going to be doing stage 15, which is the highest I can do right now on the spider, and this is a team that I'm going to be going in here for. I did take out the Armiger, which I was running here, even though he is on the stronger affinity here versus the Force Affinity Spider. I do believe we're just going to go ahead and see if we can deal with the spiderlings in a decent manner, and we'll try to feed in some turn meter control elsewhere. We do have quite a speed team with Oela, as well as this big boy we just got right here, which I forgot the name of, Neckbow. So let's go. Let's see what this is going to be like. All right, the battle just starts, and we're going to be getting sped up here by the Oela, and soon same stuff will happen. We're going to be getting buffed here by the Udex, and there we go. We got all the freezes coming out. The freezes actually landed. Now, we did not have the reduced damage done, or yeah, the reduced damage debuffs there spread out onto the spiderlings. That is why we get the freezes instead of the HP burns. Now, we are going to be taking a little while to cycle through these abilities that the Achak is going to be doing, because, well, I did not level up the skills, right? So the cooldown is actually pretty decent. We do have a lot of speed up here with all the buffs and stuff. We got a lot of turn meter control, or rather control, just a buff in the turn meter. So we're going to be able to cycle through those quite easily, and we will also pretty much be able to deal decently easy with the spiders through having neck mowing here, just a lot of AoE, as well as from that Udex. But all in all, yep, it's a level that we should definitely be able to clear decently easy. It's going to be a matter of just being lucky here, because we do not have the turn meter control we should be having in order to be avoiding the heals. It is not going to be a speed clear build. As you can see, it's going to be healing back up. I'm probably not going to be dying, and the spiderlings won't really need too much control on its own. They're going to be dying anyways eventually, right? It's going to be a matter of whether or not I'm able to deal with them before the actual heal comes through. Now, if I did have the Armiger in here, I would potentially probably fit it in here for, I don't know, maybe Oela. I think we are kind of fine without those heals. For now, maybe, I don't know. The turn meter control will probably speed this up quite a little bit, but that would be something I need to be testing. For now, we got the decreased attack debuffs going on here on the spiderlings. Eventually, when we do get Achak to do her ability. There we go. We actually got the freeze debuffs again. We didn't actually get the HP burns running onto anybody, unfortunately. Now I think I cannot really make it without the Armiger in this comp. The Oela seems to be a little bit of an overkill with the healing. We don't really need that much healing to be done in the fight. We do have the debuff protection getting those poisons away from us, as well as, of course, we do count on the Oela doing the buff extension onto us. But all in all, it just seems that we are not able to line up clearing all the spiderlings in time, even though we do have quite some clear. They're just never dying enough, and it's like lining up with the spiderling consumption, whatever you call it, from the spider, actually getting them back, right? So we're gonna have to try again and actually use the Armiger so we can see some Terminator control. Now, instead of the Armiger, we did put in here the Ruela, which is also pretty strong at this point, and it's also going to be deploying the decreased speed as well as the increased crit rate, and altogether with that on the Terminator control, of course, on her A1 with the triple hit, should be a decent enough addition to the team that we are able to actually have some Terminator control onto the spider. Let's see if it's enough to really delay the heal so that we can actually get it down, right? So we did get the A2 going off there. We got the decreased defense as well as the weekend, which is going to also be increasing our damage onto the boss quite a little bit. But we are really counting on the Terminator control, which right now didn't happen because she cycled through her A3 and A2, and now she's able to actually go into the A1. I could play around with the AI maybe to set that up in a different way. As you can see right now, once the A1 is actually happening often enough, it's going to be getting the Terminator enough down enough, whatever, so that actually it's not really doing what it's supposed to be doing. Anyways, let's see. We do have the debuff still onto the boss, which is going to be quite decent now. We don't have the most damage for sure on this comp, and since we're not getting the HP burn supplying, apparently the defense of the champions here is still not higher or equal to the attack of like the spider and the spiderlings, even though we do have the decreased damage or decreased attack onto pretty much everybody because of the Negmo. Whenever the Achak is doing his A3, it's not actually doing the thing, right? It's not actually decreasing, actually applying the HP burn. It's applying the freezes, which we do like. We do like the freezes, but we would like to see the actual HP burns going off a little bit more here. Anyways, not really what I was counting on, but we are definitely going to be able to kill this. I'm assuming here we're going to be able to clear at least this wave of spiderlings before the heal comes through. We still got a couple turns there, and the Terminator is, of course, doing its work here on the Ruela. So it's going to be able to do 1A1 before this actually bars fills up. We got another set here of control here from the Achak, which you can see all the freezes. The spiderlings are no more. They're not an issue for sure. As we go higher and higher in levels, that is going to be a little bit more handy as things are all dying right now. Still, I would have loved to see the HP burn supplying, but we still do have quite a decent control champion who's able to just, well, do that exactly. Just control the spiderlings and let us do our thing. So, the spider finally took a turn. I think that we are fine with the Ruela for now. There's a decent balance here in between Terminator control, damage, and dealing with the spider, so that we are going to be able to clear this level in a decent time. So let's see how much time is actually going to be spent before we actually kill it. So it is kind of about to die. She did get a heal off, which went through and actually got her, I don't know, back to half HP when she was like 40%. Nothing too crazy. And I don't think this is gonna really be working up to like stage 19 for sure, because at this point we are basically having a comp here with no tank whatsoever, right? We're just like trying to clear the entire thing. Now let's see a little bit of the damage here. Negmo Thar did 2.2 million. You cannot see it. Alice did quite a little bit here. Negmo Thar is honestly the star of this whole thing. He's not even spec'd into damage, and he just has so much AoE, as well as Udex Arthur, man. Udex Arthur is actually putting quite some heavyweight in this fight because of all that good AoE, and Achak himself does also have quite some AoE, which will be increased a lot when I do actually get the skill books for him. I'm still finishing up booking the Ruel. I think I only need one more skill book and that would be it. But the Achak did quite some work. Now the spiderlings on this level were low enough that I didn't really have to worry too much about him, and I think I really need this one, by the way. I'm gonna be putting it somewhere for sure. But the Achak, we didn't really get the most value from him in this level just yet because, well, still the spiderlings are dying so much and we don't really have a tank, and this whole like way that this should be working isn't really set up in a manner that is like making sense really. We're just like powering through it because the level was a little bit too low, right? So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. So the Achak was a massive addition to my roster, definitely helped me out to clear that level on the spiders, even though kind of power through it a little bit. We don't really get the most control out of him. Eventually, once we do book him up, he's going to be a lot more useful once we go to higher levels, and the spiderlings are becoming a little bit more of an issue. They don't die as often, and we are going to be needing to set up a tank and the HP burns for sure, so that they actually go down slowly enough that we time all things right for the heals to never really take place. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video to this point, please go ahead and check it out if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be easy to set up, and you're going to be able to benefit from it very, very much. You're going to be able to get extra 10% of any amount of money you're spending, all the way up to extra 35% of that much money in the form of a bonus that you can then go ahead and use instead of your actual money to do payments for you in the future, right? So picture this, I'm buying this pack, I'm going to be going ahead and using the Aptoide balance instead of my actual money to buy this for me, right? Really easy to set up. Follow the link down there in the description, download Aptoide, and then download Raid Shadowlands to Aptoide. You can install it on your Android devices like your BlueStacks emulator on your PC, or an Android device like a phone. It does not work on iOS, unfortunately. And if you want to be earning even more of a bonus, you can use my code. It's going to be somewhere here up in the screen as well as on the description. You're going to be able to earn an extra 5% bonus from the get-go forever, which can increase that all the way up to, as we mentioned, to 35%. So that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye. See you.